Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome all to the 5th Biennial Knowledge Village Muslim-Christian Dialogue, hosted by the students of the University of Wollongong here in Dubai. And what better way to start with the words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdullah Galadari, and I will be one of the moderators for tonight's event. And my co-moderator will be on my right, Mr. Nissen Matthew.
I also want to welcome you to this exciting event tonight. Like Abdullah mentioned, my name is Nissen Matthew, and I work at GDS Knowledge Consultants. And before that, I was a student here at the University of Wollongong in Dubai. A few words of instruction in advance. Firstly, please silence your mobile phones at this time. We'd like to minimize the distraction so that we can all pay close attention to the dialogue tonight. Also, if you're with the press, we are glad that you're here this evening, but we need you to register for a press pass at the table that's just outside the doors. Also, please don't take any flash photography or video during this event so that your neighbors and our video recording will not be disturbed. Video of the entire dialogue tonight will be available in DVD format, posted online at muslimchristiandialogue.org and several of the major video sites online. Now, before we begin with the speaker introductions, Matt Stiles, the CEO of GDS Knowledge Consultants, would like to welcome you on behalf of his company, the corporate sponsor of this event.
Thank you and good evening. I'm Max Stiles, as Nissen said, the CEO of Gulf Digital Solutions, and I'd like to take a moment to thank those who've made this event possible. We're grateful to Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of the UAE, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and ruler of Dubai. We want to thank the student organizers and leaders, particularly Ruth Thomas and others, many others who've made this possible. And thanks to the corporate workers and organizers, Brian Parks and Brenton Howerton with GDS, and Shakil Patikal and Irfan Sheikh with CCIA. We're grateful to the administration of the university here at Wollongong and Knowledge Village. And we want to thank our moderators, Dr. Abdullah Galadari from the UAE and Mr. Nissen Matthew from India, and most of all our speakers, Dr. Shabir Ali from Canada and Reverend Thabiti Anyabwile from the Cayman Islands. Now, I'm very aware that I am interrupting what you have come to do, which is to hear from our speakers, Dr. Shabir Ali and Thabiti, but allow me to take just a moment to give an overview for these dialogues. In 2005, some Muslim students in the Muslim Student Association approached the students in the Christian Club at the University of Wollongong. They wanted to know if they could have a dialogue together. And of course, the students were thrilled to do that. They organized rooms, they got speakers, they suggested topics. Actually, the Muslim Student Association has suggested every topic for every dialogue. The one thing they lacked was what many students lack, and that's money. So they approached GDS as their corporate sponsors. And we were delighted to do that. Since that time, GDS has been the corporate sponsor for every one of the dialogues. Little did we know how large the dialogues would grow over the last 8 years to what it is today. But just as we could not have seen the growth of these dialogues over the years, neither could we have seen the developments in the Middle East. Times have changed. Recent events in the Middle East might lead one to think this would be a good time to cancel the dialogue. In fact, many people have asked, why would you want to continue these dialogues? Why, they ask. Should we talk about differences in opinions concerning deeply held convictions when there is so much tension in the world? Let me give you 3 reasons about why we want the dialogue at this time, in this place, in this setting. Number 1, it's a historic time. Yes, the Middle East has changed. Yes, there are many regional tensions. But it's in historic times that thoughtful people can make big differences. In fact, one could argue during these historic times, more than ever before, the time is now to learn to speak to each other with dignity and respect about those deeply held values. The time is now to consider not only what we say, but how we say it. We must consider both how to speak and how to listen. We must move beyond talking points to ponder, to think, and to learn. It's not just a historic time, it's a historic place. The UAE's commitment to moderation and tolerance is becoming known the world around. This land is a demonstration of what the Middle East could be with good leadership. So what better place than Dubai? It's a place that demonstrates and champions the very values we want to promote in this dialogue. It's not just a historic time. It's not just a historic place. It's an amazing setting, the university setting. GDS has been a part of the Knowledge Village community since 2005. We offer services and products to the university, this marketplace of ideas. We know the university world. And so we ask, if we can't talk on the university campus, where will we talk? If not students, who then? The university exists to ask the kind of questions we're asking tonight, to talk about real answers. We believe the university setting is the best setting to take up thoughtful dialogue. As God said to his prophet Isaiah so many years ago, "Come, let us reason together." So in these historic times, in this historic land, in this university setting, it's my great pleasure to offer to you the 5th Biennial Muslim-Christian Dialogue.
Thank you very much, Max Stiles, for this wonderful speech, because it's very important for us all to understand the reasons why we're having this dialogue and why it's very important. This event first took place eight years ago at the University of Wollongong at Dubai campus, and it has continued every 2 years since 2005. Our hope basically is that this dialogue would further more friendly relationship between Muslims and Christians in the UAE as well as in the region. Our topic for today is going to be on how can we find forgiveness from a holy God, which is a very important topic. And we have two wonderful and amazing guest speakers with us to speak and to engage with this question tonight in this dialogue. The speaker representing the Muslim position is Dr. Shabir Ali at my left. And Dr. Ali is the president of the Islamic Information and Dawah Center International in Toronto, Canada. He holds degrees in biblical literature and specializes in Quranic exegesis. In addition, he hosts a weekly television program called Let the Quran Speak. Let's all welcome Dr. Shabir Ali.
The speaker representing the Christian position is Reverend Thabiti Anyabwile. Reverend Anyabwile is the senior pastor of First Baptist Church, Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands. He holds degrees in psychology from North Carolina State University and is a lifelong student of comparative religions. He's also the author of numerous books, including The Life of God in the Soul of the Church. Reverend Anyabwile has spoken at all 4 past Muslim-Christian dialogues here in Dubai. Please welcome Reverend Anyabwile. The way the dialogue tonight will proceed is that first, Reverend Anyabwile will speak for up to 20 minutes on the topic. Then, Dr. Ali will speak for up to 20 minutes on the topic. Each then will be allowed a 10-minute response to the other. Following a 5-minute break, we will then have a 15-minute period where Reverend Anyabwile will ask Dr. Ali questions on the topic. Then Dr. Ali will have 15 minutes to ask Reverend Anyabwile questions.
Well, following that, we will enter a time during which the audience may ask questions to both speakers. There will be some guidelines which we will explain then on how to basically approach those different questions. And also, there will also be a brief 7-minute summation given by each one of those speakers that we have tonight, and parting words from each other before we close our meeting. We encourage you to actually take notes during our speakers' time, so that you would be able to formulate your own questions that you may have during the Q&A session. Both speakers will likely be referring to quotations from the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. You may have noticed copies are being provided so that you can examine the texts for yourself as well. If you didn't pick up a Bible or Quran for reference when entering, you may do that at the short break after the speaker's opening statements or on your way out at the end of the evening. Well, we can start with our brother and Reverend Anyabwile. Will you please come and address us all?